Last time for Atlanta United 2 at home, it was a Jackson Conway hat trick that started a modest two-game win streak with the win over the Charleston Battery. If it gets to 3, it's going to be against one of the new sides in USL Championship. LaRouge visits Kennesaw. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus next. Time for some action at the Fraction. It's the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. In the East, Atlanta United 2 with a record of 2-3. The two-game win streak heading toward 3 if they have their way after 90 minutes tonight against Detroit City, coming with a record of 1-2. Alongside Jason Longshore, I am John Nelson. Thanks for accessing us however you are doing so tonight. And Jason, Detroit City, a great story in the sport of soccer, now a part of USL Championship.
Founded in 2012, they've won trophies everywhere they have been. The defense has carried over to the USL Championship. The offense has a little bit of catching up to do.
So if they're going to get that catching up, let's focus on one of the players tonight that helped them salvage a point last time out.
Pato Boteo Fas from Monterrey, Mexico. 9 goals with the club since joining them last season. He got the goal last time out. He's key, and the chemistry with Boteo Fas, with Ruts, and with Openo up top will be critical against Atlanta United 2 tonight.
We've mentioned Atlanta United 2 and their modest two-game win streak. It turned to 2 because of 2 from this guy last time out.
Nicholas Firmino, 5 out of 5 in the air last time out, filling in for Jackson Conway. Eric Centeno lobs one up to him. Firmino goes up to get it. The other goal is also a header. Firmino's been playing in the holding midfield role, a little different than what he's used to coming out of the New England Revolution Academy. Really starting to come good for Jack Collison's group.
Those are the players on the spot shadow on a bit of a windy evening in the 50s tonight. When we come back, it is starting 11s in the first 45. Atlanta United 2 and Detroit City FC. The USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truest, together for better.
USL Championship. The offense has a little bit of catching up to do.
Kennesaw. Welcome back to Kennesaw. Let's get into the starting lineups here, starting with the visitors who are in their road whites. And Jason, when you look at Detroit City, only one change from the midweek from Open Cup.
Played on Tuesday against the Michigan Stars in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup. Just the one change. think the fascinating thing about Detroit City is if this is going to be a 3-4-3 or a 3-5-2, Connor Rutz, the birthday boy, likes to drop into the midfield a little bit, but he can pop up in those central positions. Atlanta United defensively has to be careful with that.
For the home side and Atlanta United 2, how would you characterize this starting 11?
It's about as attack-minded as you can possibly get. With Bryce Washington making his 2022 debut, Mikey Ambrose playing as a left-sided center back, typically a left back we've seen a lot in his career. Aiden McFadden, generally a right back or right winger, playing as a right center back tonight. Firmino could be the wing back. It could be Brendan Lamb. And up front, you have three very tricky attackers in Mejia, Mateus, and Vial.
There is the man in the middle tonight, Jordan Gray, your ARs. Walt Heatherly and Austin Holt. Your fourth official this evening is Kyle Johnston. Temperature in the 50s here in Kennesaw, and as you are watching in the first 45, the wind is basically coming from the upper right-hand corner of your screen, working its way down to the bottom of the screen. It was very gusty earlier today in the 20s, but it has calmed down somewhat here as we are ready to go here in the first 45, and a foul called on Firmino on Antoine Opano.
Looks like Atlanta United 2 might be in more of a four-back setup. Little creative with the lineup card today, Jack Collison.
See Detroit City in their road whites. They're going to be working from right to left in the first 45 as you are watching. Atlanta United 2 in their home black outfits with the five stripes north and south down the back. They'll be going from left to right, having to defend an early set piece here with Maxi Rodriguez behind. Maxi Rodriguez, big saving off the post. Early chance for the visitors.
Not a save. It's just off the outside of the post. Maxi Rodriguez, second year with the club, nearly gets them on the board in the first minute. Let's jump straight into the keys here. For Atlanta, they're going to want to press. They're going to want to make it. For Detroit, there's nowhere to run. And they're building that chemistry. You can't hurry it. It's really starting to come to fruition for Atlanta United too. For Detroit City, you have a lot of veterans in this team, a lot of guys who know exactly what this club is all about. And if there is a big advantage for Detroit City in this match, it is in the air. We saw those 2 goals late in the Open Cup game on Tuesday in the first half off of corners. That's something Atlanta United 2 has struggled with this season.
Bryce Washington, one of his first handles of the night to Eric Centeno. Going all the way back to Justin Garces.
So to reshape a little bit, Atlanta United 2, it is a 4-man back line as Detroit picks off a pass.
Maxi Rodriguez wanted to wind up with the right, ends up passing all the way over, give to Reese Williams. Williams fond of sending the ball in with the right. Defense is there in the form of Aiden McFadden.
McFadden playing as a left back tonight. Eric Centeno gets another start at right back after a great performance that got him on the USL Championship Team of the Week up in Hartford last weekend. McFadden makes the move over to the left to accommodate him, and it's Washington and Ambrose as the 2 center backs.
So Maxi Rodriguez surveying everything in front of him. Mateus there to defend along the end line. Rodriguez sends it in low, looking far post. Reese Williams heads it in toward the 6th, headed away, volley down, pinballed in and around, volley up and over once again. Detroit City, another opportunity halfway through the 3rd.
Set piece is always a problem for Atlanta United too. This is not a very big team. Bryce Washington won the initial header, but Detroit able to create opportunities, multiple afterwards.
Amu Mensah with the initial run. Rutz to Maxi Rodriguez, back over to Reese Williams. Williams tries to play it back. Robbie Mertz almost got the interception there against Lewis. Now working in the middle, Brad Dunwell. Over to Devin Amu Mensah. Down the left-hand side. Declan Wynn lets it go, and it's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2 early in the 4th.
These are 2 teams who want to play with the ball. Detroit second in the USL Championship with over 58% possession. Atlanta United 2 over 52% of the ball. Curious to see who gets that advantage and who gets that control of the match tonight.
Centeno with the throw, trying to get out of traffic. Nicholas Firmino. Vial was there. It ends up with a back and forth continuing. Atlanta United 2 finally towards center circle. Pass was behind David Mejia. He'll backtrack from an offside position, and it'll go back to Detroit City.
Not the best angle that we had on that one, but it did not look like Mejia was coming back from an offside position. Jordan Gray asserting his authority early on.
Early in the 5th minute, thanks for hanging out with us, however you are doing so tonight. The crowd here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium for the only home match remaining for Atlanta United 2 here in the month. Well done by Mikey Ambrose to defend. Tries to spin away to keep possession, and he will.
Mikey Ambrose knows exactly what he's doing there. The wily veteran goes in to win the tackle and then knocks it off of Boteo Faz to get the throw.
Mejia slips on the surface as he was trying to evade Maxi Rodriguez. Williams in with the right, looking far post, up and over everybody, but tracking it down is Declan Wynn.
These are the moments for Centeno defensively that are going to be a challenge for him. Not experienced playing as a fullback. He was a winger at the University of the Pacific in his one college season last year. Many people going into the Super Draft thought he would be converted to an outside back or a wing back.
Steinwasser slips on the surface as he tried to move it up the right-hand side. McFadden is there. He gives to Mejia. Lamb to Mejia. And the return towards center circle. Lamb will send it back to Bryce Washington. Well done to get away from Antoine Opano there. Centeno to Bryce Washington and all the way back to Garces.
Third start for Justin Garces in his first full professional season. He had a start when he was a member of the Atlanta United Academy back in 2018.
Vial tries to poke it forward to Mateus. Coming away with it, Detroit City. Opano sends it in with the right, and it's right to Garces. Quickly distributed to Brendan Lamb.
Fast pace so far early on. Opano wasn't able to bend that with the outside of his foot as much as he wanted to.
McFadden back to Garces. Working it down the right-hand side over Amu Mensah. Vial in pursuit as well. They'll go back to Steinwasser. Had to get rid of it quickly. Forward by Stephen Carroll. Maxi Rodriguez. Reese Williams down the right-hand side looking for Opano. Ambrose is with him. Opano slips as he tried to send it to the top of the 6. Defended well by Atlanta United too.
It's a great job by Bryce Washington coming across to win that. Washington has to get up to pace of the play really quickly. Injured late in preseason. This is the first time we've seen him in 2022 since those preseason matches.
Pass from Lewis, intercepted by Mateus. He's got Vial to his right, Mejia to his left. What's the decision? To continue to work through. Pulls it back, nice back heel to Robbie Mertz. Mertz can't keep control just outside the 18, but Nicholas Firmino gets it back for the 2s. Lamb to Centeno. Back to Lamb. Into the middle and Firmino. Trying to chip it to Vial. Headed down. And they're going to call hands. Touched by Nicholas Firmino. Handball. It's going to go back to Detroit City.
Came off Firmino's left hand. Atlanta United 2 starting to settle in just a bit, knocking the ball around in the 8th minute, going into the 9th.
Amu Mensah back to Steinwasser. Looking for Reese Williams. McFadden is there. Well done to send him toward Mejia so Mejia can get the ball back for Atlanta United 2. Lamb to Mejia. Through Firmino to Vial. Vial gets away from Pato. to Bryce Washington. Intercepted. Maxey.
Needed a little more on that one from Washington to get to Firmino.
Openo. Bryce Washington. No whistle there. Openo was looking for it. Didn't happen. Atlanta United 2 comes back the other way with Robbie Mertz.
Pass was given away by Washington, but an outstanding recovery run from Bryce Washington.
McFadden looking for a passing partner. Finds it with Mertz. Mertz had Mejia to his left. Brendan Lamb. Well defended by Maxi Rodriguez, but sticking with it, Atlanta United 2. Firmino. Centeno. Cuts it inside. 3 Detroit City players were there, so he sends it to Lamb instead. Mertz has McFadden. Aiden McFadden charges forward. Give to Mejia. Mejia looking far post over Nicholas Firmino. It'll be a goal kick for Detroit City. Celebrating its 75th anniversary, Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. Choose what you play at www.selectsportamerica.com. Select League's Choice, Player's Choice. Got a quick look there at Jack Collison, the head coach of Atlanta United 2. Working their way down now through the middle. Brad Dunwell, he's looking for a sprinting Antoine Openo. Openo is there. Lamb's in pursuit. Well done to keep it out by Justin Garces. The flag is up. Having to defend quickly, Atlanta United 2 in pursuit. Garces was there to keep it scoreless in the 11th.
Cross came off of Ambrose. Really not much he could do as he's trying to get that away. Garces has to react quickly.
Connor Rutz. Back to Matt Lewis. Quick touches from Dunwell. Back to Stephen Carroll. Carroll wearing the armband tonight for Detroit City. Over to Amu Mensah. Looking for Openo. Eventually found after it goes back and forth a little bit. Chipped in. Garces is there ahead of Pato.
Beautiful look, but Teofas not able to get there in front of Garces.
Reese Williams was there to keep McFadden from charging forward down the left. So it'll go back to Garces one more time here, halfway through the 12th minute. Back and forth with Bryce Washington. Pato forces a decision. The 1-2 is there. Nicholas Firmino. Maxi Rodriguez was there pressuring him. It's going to be a throw for the visitors.
Got to be a little bit quicker there from Atlanta United too. This Detroit team, very well organized, well coached in how they want to win the ball back.
Maxi Rodriguez, center circle to Matt Lewis. Rutz. Turning away from trouble is Brad Dunwell. Back to Lewis, back to Maxi, center circle. One touch, Dunwell looking for Rodriguez. He finds him. A lot of force behind the pass. Reese Williams up over the top, but Garces is there easily.
Atlanta United 2 playing that high line, inviting that ball over the top. Detroit City hasn't been able to dial it in just yet.
Mertz. 3 players were there for Detroit City. Reese Williams gains possession for the visitors. Rutz tries to turn, and he can't do anything with it as it's blocked by Bryce Washington. Comes up a little gimpy after that defense, but it's going to be a corner for the visitors.
Robbie Mertz wanted a foul there. It looked like a hand in the back. Mertz didn't get the call from Jordan Gray. Jack Collison not happy about that one. It nearly led to an opportunity for Detroit.
Heading toward the 14th minute, Maxi Rodriguez.
Have to watch out for Matt Lewis. 2 goals on Tuesday in the Open Cup.
Looking far post. Headed in toward the 6, headed away by Firmino. The head tennis continues. 4th header in a row. Ends up with another corner for Detroit City.
I found Lewis on the back post, but he wasn't able to make anything of it that time. All-league center back in 2021, product of the Sporting Kansas City Academy. been ever present this season for Detroit City.
So Maxi Rodriguez will try it again. A little lower trajectory this time, up into the air, chested by Reese Williams at the back post, but it just goes away, and it's going to be a goal kick for Atlanta United 2.
I don't think Williams expected that to get all the way to him. Reese Williams playing as a right wing back. He's been Detroit City's best player in 2022.
Well done to gain control there. First touch by Darwin Mateus. 4 Detroit City players around him still kept control, but then they call a foul on the visitors.
First start of the year for Mateus, the young Venezuelan. So good on the dribble. And this front three, when they can build some chemistry with Vial, with Mateus, with Mejia, completely interchangeable.
Firmino gets away from Amu Mensah, give to Centeno. Lamb. He was challenged there for a second by Rutz. Rutz can't get past Bryce Washington, and it's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
Detroit City just make you uncomfortable in how quick they close you down. That time, a needless giveaway in the middle third. Atlanta regains possession on the throw.
Centeno found Mateus. Mateus drifts it back to Mikey Ambrose. Now to Mejia. Scott McFadden finds him. McFadden has Mertz to his left. McFadden looking far post toward the top of the 18 over Mateus, and it's going to end up with Detroit City keeping it from going out. Declan Wynn.
That was a great ball from Aiden McFadden with his left foot. McFadden on the left is a really interesting thing here tonight because he can cut into his right, and when he can put in crosses quick like that with his left, he gives you the best of both worlds.
Mejia tries to spin away from both Lewis and Dunwell. Got the first, but not the second. It goes back to Steinwasser. Line drive to Maxi Rodriguez. Looking center circle. Bryce Washington gets it away from Pato. Vial tried to keep possession. Well defended there by LaRouge. Goes back to Amu Mensah. Steinwasser saw Maxi. Went straight to McFadden instead. To Mejia. Robbie Mertz tried to get past Dunwell, backtracked it to Brendan Lamb, to Mikey Ambrose. Ambrose saw an opening, nicely done back heel, the back and forth with McFadden getting around Maxi Rodriguez. Having to charge is Bryce Washington. Pato to Opano. Opano now inside the 18, looking far post and just missed Rutz. It's going to be a goal kick for Atlanta United 2, but another chance in transition for Detroit City.
Detroit City want to build up possession, build up plays, but they can strike quickly as well. Opano just slightly overhit for Rutz, who was running that middle channel. Quick turnovers. Detroit City looking for those opportunities, getting a little vertical tonight.
Mertz. Maxi Rodriguez on his back. Down the right, up and over Amu Mensah, but he'll get there. Back to Nate Steinwasser. Dunwell. Amu Mensah. Vial pressuring. Steinwasser having to chip it around Vial.
It's good work from Nate Steinwasser. To play in this manner, you have to have a goalkeeper who's comfortable with that kind of a pass. Steinwasser, no problems. No worries on that one. Golden Glove winner last year, the Sterling Heights, Michigan native. If you're going to be a possession team, your goalkeeper has to be able to function as a field player.
Steinwasser, one of 6 players that was a holdover from their successful, highly successful Nice's season last year. To have that anchor in your first season in USL Championship is huge. Miss hit, give to Mejia. Mejia's got company to his left. He'll chip it. Wide open Vial, heavy touch, and Steinwasser's there.
Steinwasser is bailed out by the poor touch from Jonathan Vial. What a ball from David Mejia to pick him out. Splitting defenders to pick out Vial, but he just couldn't keep it under control.
Wynn was looking for Rutz in the middle, found Brendan Lamb instead. Lamb was looking for Mertz and found Maxi Rodriguez. Reese Williams trying to get away from Aiden McFadden. Back to Dunwell. Back to Stephen Carroll. Down the right. Maxi heading to Pato. Maxi slips on the surface. Mejia's there to pick it up instead. Hand fighting going on between the two. Consider it a wash. Lewis comes away from it from Detroit City. Looking into the middle once again, well defended as it was intended for Openo. Bryce Washington again.
Both teams having problems with this surface. It can run very slick here at Kennesaw State University. Both teams having issues keeping their footing at times.
McFadden deflected by Reese Williams. Chested down, Maxi. Quick touch to Reese Williams out on the right-hand side. Sending it in, up and over in the 6 and touched by Pato that close to 1-0.
That's what can happen when you have a turnover and get overly aggressive. Aiden McFadden lost this one, charged forward, was caught out by Reese Williams, who got in behind. Great recognition from Detroit City to play it to Williams. He puts in a dangerous ball to Pato, who just was not able to turn that inside. Garces was expecting that to be hit right at him with force. Pato tried to I think maybe even bring that one down a little bit. He's not able to control it, do what he wanted with it.
Up the right-hand side, Williams looking for Rutz, and it goes back to Atlanta United 2 halfway through minute 21.
See some of the Detroit City faithful who made the trip down to Atlanta to support Les Rouges.
McFadden dribbles away from Reese Williams, back to Garces. Mertz, Bryce Washington up the right-hand side, but he finds Amu Mensah instead.
Look, these are two teams that are good in their pressing. They're good at recovering the ball. Atlanta has to keep their nerve. You have to keep trying to play through the pressure, but you can't overreact when there is a turnover.
Antoine Openo there. Remember him from his time with Lou City before his stop in Detroit.
Last 3 years with Lou City. Paris, France native, came to the States to play at Princeton. Spent some time with the Philadelphia Union organization as well.
Amu Mensah had a little bit of room up over the top, over Centeno. Openo in the corner. Keeps it in. Cuts it back inside. You're going to get a foul on Centeno on a set piece here for Detroit City late in the 22nd.
This time challenge from Eric Centeno, still learning the finer arts of playing right back. Openo gets him diving in.
There's Maxi Rodriguez surveying.
He's got one goal on the season. This is a really tough angle to go to goal. Only a one-man wall, though. If Maxi's feeling it, he might try to surprise Garces.
Pato, Matt Lewis, both charging, sent up and over far post, headed down, Amu Mensah and in. Headed down by Amu Mensah, Stephen Carroll back of the net, 1-0 to the visitors halfway through the 23rd.
Set pieces, Detroit City excels. Great delivery from Maxi Rodriguez, and Devin Amu Mensah with a perfectly placed header down to Carroll. First time finish from the captain, and Detroit City takes the early lead.
There's your other look right there. Great work on the volley by Carroll to put it in the back of the net. And that's what you need on the road to get that first goal on the board, to have the home side fighting an uphill battle.
They probably can't hear us at the City Clubhouse up in Detroit, but I'm sure they're making tons of noise for their boys right now. Set piece is always an issue with Atlanta United, too. It's not a team with a lot of size. You have to be careful about where you concede those set pieces. Centeno late on the challenge. Maxi Rodriguez, Amu Mensah, and Carroll take advantage.
Rutz had possession. Nicholas Firmino there to take it away from him. Vial right to left. Mejia now charges into the middle. He leaves it behind. Mateus, well defended that time by Brad Dunwell to send it away, but not all the way out. Here comes Atlanta United 2 again. Robbie Mertz looking far post, headed up into the air by Amu Mensah outside the area. There to grab it is Dunwell. And it's going to be last touched by Detroit City. And keep an eye on Jonathan Vial.
Awkward landing for Vial. Jack Collison, first time that one back into one of his players, said he wanted to throw quickly.
Past Bryce Washington. Great control by Antoine Openo, trying to get a second on the board. Well defended by Bryce Washington to keep that charge from happening.
It's another time Bryce Washington so fast and so good at recovering and making the right decisions at that point, but he's initially beaten by the craftiness of the Frenchman Openo. Openo just didn't have the pace to outrun Washington down that flank, and Maxi Rodriguez gets another opportunity to pick out what he wants from the corner.
Goes short to Openo this time. All the way back out to Dunwell. Cuts it back to Openo. Past Mateus, but once again there is Centeno to knock it away. Sorry, Mikey Ambrose to knock it away. It'll be a deep throw for Detroit City.
Trevor James, 4th season with Detroit City. We'll see Jack Collison in a minute. Trevor James, 100 plus 121 goal differential since taking over at Detroit City.
Closing in on his 100th match being in charge for the club.
Should happen late this season.
Touch was too heavy for Maxi as the back and forth was the idea with Declan Wynn. So it'll be one of the deepest of deep throws you could possibly have if you're in your own defensive third.
This is an opportunity for Detroit City to win the ball back in a dangerous spot. Atlanta's got to manufacture a way out of this corner. Jordan Gray getting very, very much a stickler for where this throw is going to be taken.
To Maxi Rodriguez. Openo up in the air off of Mikey Ambrose. Wynn won the header and a foul on Openo.
Openo with the body block on Lamb.
And wondering what he did.
Stepped in Lamb's path. Knows what he's doing. He's a veteran.
Mertz. Lamb. Back to Garces. Mikey Ambrose with a lot of room down the left-hand side. Pato in pursuit. 2 other bodies closing in for Detroit City, looking for Nicholas Firmino. Firmino gains control of it. Down the right after Centeno slipped and had to regain his feet very quickly. Firmino now into the middle and Brendan Lamb.
Great first touch from Lamb.
Looking for Jonathan Vial, and the flag is up.
Vial started his run early. The first touch from Lamb created the opportunity. There's Jack Collison. Took over last season, really trying to push the aggressiveness with this young team. He wants to see first touches like that one we saw from Lamb. He wants them to be brave and play through teams like Detroit that have a lot more experience than them.
Steinwasser on the ground. Nicholas Firmino tried to force a turnover. It does to Vial. Firmino looking for Mateus. Mateus, the top of the arc, just outside the 18, finally finds McFadden. McFadden wanted to chip it, pulled it back, tries to bend it with the right, just missed.
That's the advantage of having an inverted fullback in Aiden McFadden on that left side. He can cut back to his right foot and look to go to goal. 8 goals last season for McFadden. He's feeling it here when he pulls that back to his right foot. Just can't curl it in on the far side.
Center circle. Lamb was there. Pato wanted a handball call, didn't get it, but Detroit City ends up with possession. Amu Mensah can't quite get the handle. First touch goes back to Steinwasser instead. Firmino volleyed up into the air. McFadden was there to get it before Reese Williams, but Maxi Rodriguez comes down with it. Mejia was there from behind. He'll pressure Lewis, but it goes back to Steinwasser instead. Mateus is there. You see the Atlanta United 2 players with their speed trying to get the ball back quickly. Lewis to Stephen Carroll. Done well. Declan Wynn and back to Amu Mensah. Amu Mensah looking for the big switch. And they're going to say that Pato was offside. Mikey Ambrose, as we're heading into the 31st minute. 1-0 lead to the visitors. Goal by Stephen Carroll. That's 6 minutes ago, has given the visitors the advantage in the jump start that they're looking for. Hoping for a jump start here. David Mejia down the left-hand side, gets away from Matt Lewis. Back to McFadden. Brendan Lamb getting away from Rutz. Mejia looking toward the top of the 6th. Headed away but not out. Lamb flicked by Mertz, and Steinwasser will get there.
The advantage with this front three for Atlanta United 2 is they're really difficult to deal with because they're all dangerous on the dribble and can flare outside. The disadvantage is you don't really have a true number 9 for those crossing situations.
Win back to Amu Mensah. Maxi through Pato. Win will get there. Cutting it inside with the left, headed out. Pato tries to settle. He can't. Mertz gets there instead. He'll give to Centeno.
Robbie Mertz just took it away from Pato. That's great work by Robbie Mertz in a defensive jam at the top of his 18.
Jonathan Vial, 2 assists on the year. And there's Amu Mensah, one of the stalwarts at the back for Detroit City. Nicholas Firmino looking to spring Darwin Mateus. Carroll, center circle, into the corner. Too much for Reese Williams. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
Great look from the Irishman Carroll. 6th season with Detroit City. Trying to spring Williams down the right side.
So he's been there for the growth from the NPSL into where they were with NISA, and now where they are with the USL Championship. Carroll wins it away from Darwin Mateus. Gets it back, scoops it up, looking for Opano. Opano lets it bounce. Gains possession just outside the 18, give to Maxi. Rodriguez looking. Chested down. Sent in with the left, looking for Rutz. Pinball's back out. Detroit City with possession on Amu Mensah, early minute 33. Win on the ground with the left. Maxi is there. Looking far post, up into the air. Well defended by McFadden. Mejia trying to get a foul call from Reese Williams. Didn't happen. Another header and another goal for Detroit City. The visitors with another goal on the board. 2 goals about 9 minutes apart on the road, and it's 2-0 Detroit City over Atlanta United 2.
Veteran Detroit side showing their mettle early on here in this one in Kennesaw. David Mejia goes shoulder to shoulder with Williams. There's no foul there. And a pinpoint cross from Williams to Opano. Buries it in the far side netting. Second goal of the season for Antoine Opano. And we've seen this back line for Atlanta United 2 get spread apart. They're not finding that synchronicity in the line. That last time, there was a lot of depth on the line. Players were kept onside, And it's really difficult right now for Atlanta to clear their lines under this pressure from Detroit City.
Amu Mensah gathers the ball in from Bryce Washington. Another charge from the visitors. Cutting through the middle. Give to Maxey. Declan Wynn finds Opano. Centeno backtracking, defends it there. It's going to be a corner for Detroit City here as we head toward the 35th minute.
Centeno wanted a little more help there as he's getting 2v1. Wanted Vial to drop and help more.
Trying to hear a bit of the conversation between Maxey and Opano down there in the corner. See if they give away any trade secrets. Sent in, looking, headed up into the air and over the bar. Another close call. That time it was Pato.
Garces had that covered, was coming out on Pato. Pato Boteo Fas just trying to kind of flick that over his head, hoping to get lucky.
Programming note from the USL Championship. It's an Eastern Conference clash on ESPN Deportes when Detroit City welcomes Birmingham Legion to Keyworth. Don't miss the Motor City take on the Magic when the Motor City takes on the Magic City Friday, April 15th at 7 Eastern on ESPN Deportes. Speaking of Detroit City, here they come once again, chipped around Aiden McFadden into the area. 3 players are there for Atlanta United 2. And McFadden gives it to Mejia on the getaway, and there's a foul call.
That was not shoulder to shoulder that time around from Reese Williams. Williams is a problem on the right side. The wide players on both sides for Detroit really starting to dominate this game a bit.
Nicholas Firmino trying to get ahead of steam. You're going to get a foul call there on Declan Wynn.
Wynn had that boot high just enough. Take another look at it here. It's a good ball to spring Firmino.
Two goals last week in the 2-0 win for Atlanta United 2 in Hartford. Traditionally a very tough place to play. Trying to see what Firmino can do tonight for an encore as a part of this 2-game win streak for Atlanta United 2.
Atlanta United 2 missing a few familiar faces. Turnover here, opportunity for Detroit.
Lewis looking for Pato, flicked back for Maxey. He finally does gain control of it. Had a couple of different ideas go through his brain, so he chips it over to the far side. Opano, the one-touch volley. Garces is there.
Mentioned the high line for Atlanta United 2 earlier. It's dropped very deep. That was way too deep. It was too easy for Detroit City to find the space in front of the back line. Dunwell just shrugs Vial off.
Looking down the left, and it was up and over Pato, so it'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
It's the challenge for a teenager like Jonathan Vial. Not the biggest player you're going to find in this league, but he has to be able to use a little bit of strength there. He's got to be able to hold defenders off. Mateus
had 3 Detroit City players around him. Sent back to Centeno, but Centeno gets it to Stephen Carroll of La Rouge, and they're going to come back the other way with it, up and over the top, down the left, finding Opano.
Just space everywhere for Detroit right now.
At the elbow, Maxey tries to bend it with the right. Got a little under it, but it's up and over the bar, and it's going to be a goal kick.
Early on, Atlanta United 2 playing a high line defensively. They were able to force Detroit into chipping that ball over the top, having to hit it perfect. It ended up falling to Garces most of the time. Atlanta United 2 now playing a very deep back line and giving Detroit acres of space to play into.
McFadden thought about giving it to Nicholas Firmino. Goes back to Garces instead. Garces' pass is right to Declan Wynn with some room. Rutz sweeps it off to his right, and Reese Williams plays it back a step to Lewis. Regain the touch, goes back center circle to Stephen Carroll, and he'll go back to Amu Mensah. Amu Mensah to Opano. Maxey finds Pato. Pato with Mikey Ambrose there. Tries to get it to his left. Stuck with ideas. Chipped, blocked, sent away. Reese Williams will get there. Second chance for Detroit City. McFadden is with him. Chip with the left to Lewis. Still with possession, Detroit City. Opano sweeps it in toward the 6, headed by Wynn, up and over the bar.
Centeno doesn't win the header, but he makes it difficult for Declan Wynn coming in to be able to head that down on goal. Jack Collison will have a lot to work with to talk to his young team at halftime. He wants them to play bravely. Part of that is how high they're going to set the defensive line. When they keep dropping, it just makes it easier for Detroit to find space.
Maxi Rodriguez was there to get the ball away from Firmino. Rutz done well. Ball pops up into the air. Atlanta United 2 coming away with it now. Center circle, Vial.
Great work from Robbie Mertz.
Vial through ball. Can Mateus get there? Steinwasser would get there first.
Nice read by Nate Steinwasser. Not enough on that ball from Vial. Not enough to keep that wider to give Mateus and Mejia an opportunity to get there. Steinwasser gobbled that one up.
Carroll looking down the right side for Reese Williams. Too much on it. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2 here early in the 41st minute. Down 2-0 at home. McFadden had Mertz close by. Went to Mateus. Mateus tried to flick it on to Mejia. Amu Mensah gets there. Steinwasser working it back towards center line. McFadden with the volley. Vial with the flick. Mejia can't touch it. So it's going to go back to Carroll and to Steinwasser instead. Rutz has Williams. Gives it to him on the right-hand side. Back to Lewis. Reese Williams. 4 different players touching it quickly. Down the right-hand side over Ambrose. Flick to Opano in space for Pato. Pato looking to charge into Garces. Thought about it twice and in. Pato with the goal on the board early in the 42nd minute. His second on the season, and it is 3 on the board for the visitors in the first half.
Only 3 goals coming into this in their first 4 games in the USL Championship. Detroit City's doubled it tonight. 1v1. Eric Centeno trying to make sure that Pato doesn't have the other option to his left, leaving Garces 1v1 with Pato. Just the hesitation from Pato Boteo Fas. He puts it in the back of the net. The little pump fake gets Garces to commit. Slots it home.
Trevor James had been concerned, as Jack Collison is now, the head coach for Detroit City, that it had taken his team in their last 2 matches in the USL Championship about the first 60 minutes to get in to see the energy level that he was looking for, but he's had no worry about that tonight in the first 43.
It's not just energy, it's quality. And that's what we've seen tonight. The ball from Antoine Opano, the back heel to spring Pato. Just majestic.
Firmino tries to get around both Maxey and Wynn. Touched last by Detroit City. It'll be a throw for Atlanta United 2.
Atlanta United 2 missing Jackson Conway tonight for the 2nd straight match. He is with the first team in Charlotte for Major League Soccer action tomorrow. Also missing Noah Cobb, the 16-year-old who's played every minute up to this point. He's with Atlanta United's Generation Adidas squad out in Texas.
Williams up the right-hand side finds Rutz. Mikey Ambrose there to defend for Atlanta United 2. Rutz cuts it back to his left. Dropped. Returned. Reese Williams on the right on the edge of the area. Blocked by Mikey Ambrose. Vial there to help out in defense. Into the middle. Left to Maxey. And into the corner once again to Reese Williams. Looking near post. Flicked and headed away. Mertz controls it. Back to McFadden. Here comes Atlanta United 2.
Great defensive header from Brendan Lamb up against his end line.
Over to Bryce Washington. Minute and a half left here in the first 45, plus any time that may be added on. Ambrose. Center circle, Robbie Mertz. Two Detroit City players there to keep him from going forward, both Rutz and Maxey. But here comes Mikey Ambrose now. Gets it back from Lamb, cuts it inside, into the middle, has some room. Darwin Mateus wanted to line it up. Through ball over to the corner. Centeno looking far post, up and over, and its flag is up, and it's going to be goal kick.
Mateus nowhere to go with the shot. Eric Centeno bombing forward, not able to put a dangerous enough cross in. One of the few times Atlanta United 2 was able to play through the alley that Detroit City sent them into. It's a well-organized bit of pressure from Detroit City. They try to play you into certain sections where they trap you up against the touchline, play you into a trap. That time, Mikey Ambrose was able to carry it forward enough to create something out of it.
1 minute added here in the first 45. Brendan Lamb for Atlanta United 2 on the left-hand side. Tried to find an opening past Rutz, didn't find one. Back to McFadden and Robbie Mertz. Lamb has Centeno. Step over, poked away. Defended well by Maxey, but Atlanta United 2 keeps it. Firmino. Win is there first. Centeno got there a little late. Amu Mensah now. Atlanta United 2 trying to pin Detroit City in. Headed up into the air. Bryce Washington now. Firmino left it for Centeno. Detroit City will clear. Ambrose all the way back to Justin Garces, and that will do it. Dominant first 45 for the visitors. Detroit City FC. Goals in the 23rd, the 33rd, and the 41st. 3 different goal scorers for Le Rouge on the road. We'll talk about it and everything else going on around the USL Championship from Fifth Third Bank Stadium. This is the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. Atlanta United 2 with a big hole to dig out of come the second 45. We'll be right back.
Sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece. Puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium here, Detroit City. All the goals in the first 45 minutes. Time to take a tour around the USL Championship and let you know what else is going on. But when we talk about Atlanta United 2, one of the players that has come under the magnifying glass in recent weeks is this guy, Nicholas Firmino, and rightfully so. The pride of Montana, Brazil. Remember, last time out, scored the brace, got the 2 goals in the big win against Hartford Athletic for the 3 points on the road in a very, very tough place to play. Well thought of in the New England Revolution system, had his time with New England Revolution 2 last year with Union Omaha in USL League One, won a USL League One championship with that franchise there in Papillon, Nebraska. So Nicholas Firmino, a lot of promise here for Atlanta United 2 here in 2022. Now, let's take a look at the Team of the Week here in USL Championship, brought to us by our friends at Konami Football. And this is almost turning into the Danny Trejo presentation. Once again, Danny Trejo, Team of the Week and Player of the Week for his output. Third consecutive Team of the Week selection, both goals for the Las Vegas Lights in their 2-1 win against the Charleston Battery. A couple of other familiar faces, Eric Centeno, Nicholas Firmino there for Atlanta United 2. C.J. Cochran there in goal for Tampa Bay Rowdies. Gabriel Torres in the Eastern Conference for FC Tulsa. Also Darnell King from Phoenix Rising. Michi Ingalina for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. Tumi Moshabane from San Diego Loyal. Rodrigo Lopez, Sacramento Republic. J.J. Williams out of FC Tulsa. Dane Kelly from Pittsburgh Riverhounds. On the bench from the Eastern Conference, Kyle Morton from Louisville, Anderson Asiadu from Birmingham, Reese Williams from Detroit, Jeremy Kelly from Memphis 901. That is a look at the Team of the Week, but what else is going on here in the USL Championship? Here's just a small sample of what's going on around the league.
I'm on that real team. I'm on that real team.
In the making, a dream start for City.
Maxi Rodriguez, what a stop by Steinwasser.
What a debut for the Legion. Marlon. What a goal from Marlon. What a save, Van Ogle.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
.45 in just a little bit, but let's take a peek at what else is going on around the USL Championship. Let's start off with how things look in the Eastern Conference, and this is up to date with what happened this afternoon, and we'll show you why Pittsburgh is now at the top of the table coming up in just a little bit. Lou City is now second in the table after their first 5 matches. FC Tulsa first in the barn playing 6 matches. Tampa Bay is playing right now. Loudoun United, one of the biggest surprises so far in the East, coming out of the blocks at 2-1-1 in their first 4. You see Atlanta United 2 and Detroit City right there at 7-8. The Miami FC at 9. Charleston Battery is your number 10. So let's take a peek at some of the other scores that are going on, either now, already have gone on, or will be going on. So we'll cover all three tenses, past, present, and future. Pittsburgh and FC Tulsa. We'll have some cool piece of news coming up out of that match in just a little bit. A 7-goal thriller. Pittsburgh 4-3, the winners there. Colorado Springs winning 3-2 out west. At the break, at the half, it is Tampa Bay leading the Miami FC. That one, actually, that one is goalless at the half. About ready to kick off RGV and Indy 11. Orange County SC San Antonio FC. That one is at 10 o'clock. Also, San Diego Loyal Charleston Battery in one of those east-west crossovers. Also, El Paso's hosting Monterey Bay. Later tonight, Phoenix Rising at Wild Horse Pass is taking on LA Galaxy 2. So let's take a peek at the TV schedule coming up just around the corner. Games on the ESPN family of networks on the Plus. It is Loudoun United and Lou City. That one is tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. Also, Birmingham Legion and Hartford Athletic. That one's at 5. Some midweek action. Memphis 901 FC and FC Tulsa. That one's on Wednesday, along with Oakland Roots and San Diego Loyal out in the Western Conference. Friday, Detroit City and Birmingham Legion. That one is Friday night at 7 o'clock at Keyworth. And the next match for Atlanta United 2 is Saturday at the Mike as they take on Indy 11, who has had some early season struggles in the Eastern Conference as well. Now, that cool piece of news that I was telling you about, it's right there at the bottom. We'll get to it in just a little bit. But Atlanta United 2 fans, you can vote for Jackson. And the reason I say that is because the Player of the Month nominees presented by Konami Football are out. Jackson Conway is one of them. Danny Trejo from Vegas, Jake LaCava from Tampa Bay, Douglas Martinez from Sacramento, Nico Brett from New Mexico United, and Jackson Conway, your March Players of the Month nominees. Go to uslchampionship.com, vote for your favorite player, but you have to do so before Monday at noon for the vote to be counted. Your Open Cup date, round 3 matchups have now been announced. 15 USL Championship clubs have advanced to round 3, 8 drawn at home. Some interesting matchups that have to do with the geography. Tampa Bay and Orlando City is one. Inter Miami, the Miami FC is one as well. Once again, you can go to uslchampionship.com and see how your favorite USL Championship club has fared. And that piece of news from Pittsburgh and FC Tulsa, Kenardo Forbes made his 200th regular season appearance in the USL Championship. So King Kenny is now on the board for 200 appearances. Paolo Del Piccolo actually made 200 appearances. He cleared that number also earlier this year. So Kenardo Forbes, the second player to hit that number in league history. In league history statistics, first in big chances created, first in successful passes, first in 3 other categories as well. So King Kenny has now hit 200 when it comes to his appearances in the USL Championship. That is a quick look around the USL Championship. When we come back, we'll get you ready for the second 45. Detroit City, 3 on the board in about an 18-minute span. Lead Atlanta United 2, 3-0. It's the USL Championship on ESPN+. We will return.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
BB&T and SunTrust are now Truist, together for better.
Welcome back to Kennesaw, getting you ready for the second 45 minutes. On the scoreboard in the first 45, it was all Detroit City. So let's take a look and see how we got to this particular moment in time, looking at the first half highlights. And Jason, Atlanta United 2 had to fend off early from Maxi Rodriguez.
Set pieces, always going to be an issue for this side. Maxi Rodriguez excels in delivering them. The header down from Amumensa, and it's slotted home out of the air by Stephen Carroll. Great take from him. Atlanta got forward. Aiden McFadden with the best chance for Atlanta United 2. There weren't many of those. It was all Detroit in the first half. Goal number 2 off a quick header. Goal number 3 off the back heel from Antoine Opino. And Pato, with the little hesitation, with the little shimmy to the left, gets Justin Garces lean and slots it home.
3 goals in an 18-minute span made it 3-0 to La Rouge. You look at the first half stats and what comes to mind.
Well, 12-1 in shots is pretty obvious as to why it's 3-0 on the score line. Possession a little bit less than you're used to for Detroit City. They're playing in transition quite a bit tonight because that's the game that is in front of them. Couple of deeper stats that I think show you the dominance that Detroit City is delivering tonight. 8 aerial duels on the night, 7 of them won by Detroit City, and possession won in the final third. That's your attacking third. Detroit has 10 times they've regained possession in a dangerous spot.
So let's take a look at your keys from the first 45 and revisit them as we head toward the second 45. That's your keys that you came into the match with.
Well, on the Detroit side, I mean, you knew the character would be there because of so many veterans of this club in the team. Higher ground, I said they had an advantage in set pieces. They've shown that. They showed it for goal number 1. On the Atlanta side, the press hasn't been good enough. The nowhere to run side of things, it just hasn't been good enough. Detroit City's been able to play through it pretty well. And building chemistry, it's tough when the pieces are always coming and going for Jack Collison. We're going to see some changes to the lineup here in the second 45. We'll talk about that here in just a second. You see Grant Howard right there on the screen. But building chemistry, you can't hurry that. But it's really hard when you're missing people like Jackson Conway, like Noah Cobb tonight. Somebody has to step up and provide some leadership for Atlanta United 2 in the second 45.
So Grant Howard is in. It looks like Brendan Lamb's night is done after 45 minutes.
We'll see how the pieces move around. Howard's going to be the right back. He's an Atlanta United Academy player committed to Virginia Tech in the fall. Howard excelled in U19 play in this past fall, and he's gotten some experience at the USL Championship level as a result. Centeno's going to move higher up the pitch. It looks like Robbie Mertz has dropped deeper into that midfield, trying to help Atlanta play through Detroit's pressure, where they're turning the ball over in Atlanta's defensive third quite a bit.
Mertz to Darwin Mateus. First involvement for Grant Howard. Sends it back to Bryce Washington. Mikey Ambrose chests it down. He's got some space on the left-hand side. Into the middle, McFadden. Vial. Back to Aiden McFadden. McFadden turns with the left up and over the bar.
The righty McFadden not able to keep that left-footed drive down. Pinching into the middle, though, Aiden McFadden. He's a spark plug for this team. Provides a lot of the emotion that is needed for this young group. Got to get more involved here in the second 45.
Lewis from Steinwasser. Center circle. Popped up into the air. Bryce Washington misses on the header. Firmino comes down with it. Give to Howard, and he'll go back to Garces.
Look, at now it's an easy game for Detroit City in terms of what they have to do with the second 45. If the pressure for Atlanta does pick up and it is effective, Detroit can just play along and play in the other half and try to win it back.
Firmino tries to get away from Rutz. He does. Gives it to Garces. But Lewis is there to intercept it. Ends up heading right back to Robbie Mertz. Through Firmino to Aiden McFadden.
Garces has to be a little more precise in those moments. Needs that experience in these kinds of games.
Ambrose through a line looking for Vial. Here comes Detroit City again. Openo taken down by Robbie Mertz. Robbie Mertz will get a yellow card here in the 48th minute.
Vial bodied off of it once again. Robbie Mertz goes in strong late. Easy yellow card decision for Jordan Gray. Take another look at it just to be sure. Yeah, catches him as Openo knows he's coming. That's the savviness of the 31-year-old Antoine Openo. Baiting Mertz into that.
Maxi Rodriguez looking far post over everyone. It'll be a goal kick for Atlanta United 2.
Not on the same page that time. The cycling for Detroit. No one ended up in the spot that Maxi Rodriguez delivered it to.
Howard back and forth with Bryce Washington. Over to Garces. Pato keeping an eye on things inside the area. Mertz gets away from Maxi. Give to Mikey Ambrose. Turns it inside to get away from Pato. He'll go back to Garces. Grant Howard up the right channel. Amu Mensah is there. Headed back from Brad Dunwell. Dunwell works it forward once again to Maxi Rodriguez. And obviously, you know, with a 3-goal lead and this being the third match that this lineup has basically played in a week, you couldn't have asked for a better scenario here. For a team that has played a lot, this starting 11 has played a lot for the most part. And to have a 3-goal cushion heading into the second half of this third match in a week is big for them.
It's one thing I'm curious to see how it develops this season for Detroit City. It's a pretty thin bench. It's been a thin bench from day one. That can catch up to you in this league. I'm curious to see what additions are on the way for Detroit City. But tonight, you know, you don't have to expend as much energy here in the second half as long as they maintain control of it. If they don't concede one early to Atlanta United 2, they can turn down the volume just a little bit. They can go to the bench for sure, and they have players who can come in. Abdoulaye Diop, our old friend, is one of those, but they can also back off on the pressure a little bit like we see now.
17 on the roster coming into tonight, and they had only 5 in reserve with Billy Forbes out on injury. Centeno, step overs on Wynn, working past him. Wynn with the block. It'll be a corner for Atlanta United 2 halfway through the 51st.
Eric Centeno further up the pitch. He's a little more comfortable in those positions. As a right back, you want to get him forward to put the opposition under pressure. Atlanta United 2 wasn't able to do that very often in the first half. We'll see if Centeno can impact things here in the second.
Darwin Mateus will take the corner. Let's see what Mateus has in mind. With the left, looking far post outside the 6th, headed out and away. Robbie Mertz will regain possession for Atlanta United 2. Give to Vial. Mertz on the ground, knocked away, but Atlanta United 2 will come back with possession. Ambrose through one level to Vial. He's got Mertz to his left. Cuts it back to his right to Nicholas Firmino. Firmino turns away from the defense that was there for Detroit City. Give to Centeno. Step overs as he tries to go on Reese Williams. And it's going to be a corner. Atlanta United 2 wanted a foul there on Williams. Didn't get it on Centeno as he was trying to work inside the area.
We'll have to get another look at this. Jordan Gray did not see enough for the foul, but he saw the touch off of Williams to give the corner. I don't think he really connects with Centeno. That is the right call.
Mejia with the right. headed up and over as there were about 4 different bodies there trying to keep Steinwasser from making contact for one reason or another. McFadden was there for Atlanta United too.
Well, Aiden McFadden won the header, and he's trying to redirect that from the near post. McFadden is Atlanta United 2's best player in those aerial duels. Good ball from Mejia to pick him out, but McFadden wasn't able to redirect it on frame.
But McFadden will regain possession for Atlanta United 2. Give to Grant Howard. Howard to Centeno. Through ball, well done by Nicholas Firmino, but he can't catch up to it. Goes back to Stephen Carroll. Carroll to Steinwasser. Pressure from Mateus. And Steinwasser just has to send it toward the Detroit City bench. It'll be a quick throw for Atlanta United 2, wasting no time. Mateus wanted to turn and volley with the right. Pressure once again from Atlanta United 2. Vial. McFadden. Leaves for Jonathan Vial. Mejia. Cuts it into the middle. Mertz. Tries to get away from Maxi Rodriguez. One touch to Mateus. Amu Mensah was there. Grant Howard will track it down. Pato won possession, poked it away from Grant Howard. Bryce Washington is there to defend. Robbie Mertz there as well. Ambrose. Trying to get past Rutz. Flicked nicely to Nicholas Firmino. Vial. McFadden turns away from pressure. Firmino now in the 55th minute. Vial getting past Dunwell. Mateus regains control, cuts in past Maxi Rodriguez. Sent away by Detroit City.
It's a wonderful turn by Vial at the beginning of that, but not able to make anything out of it. Darwin Mateus.
Cycled back to Mikey Ambrose down the left-hand side. Stutter step, found some more room. Give to Mejia. Near the touchline, give to Nicholas Firmino. Into the middle, Robbie Mertz. Mejia looking for Vial. Cleared away, but Ambrose there. The back and forth. McFadden was looking for Mateus. Amu Mensah was there first, and he will give it forward. And there's a chance for Pato, but looks like Bryce Washington will get there first. Garces will send it back, and we'll try it again with Atlanta United 2 and Mikey Ambrose.
Great read from Bryce Washington. Took off immediately when he saw that ball being played, knew where it was going, got there first to the spot.
Big switch for Mejia. Too much for Mateus. Centeno will track it down. Declan Wynn is there defending for Detroit City. Step overs from Centeno. Looking to get Wynn to commit back post. And it's going to end up being a goal kick for Detroit City.
Declan Wynn making it difficult for Eric Centeno to find any space to operate. See a little bit of the frustration creeping in for the rookie Centeno.
Steinwasser directing a little traffic, so we'll remind you, don't miss a minute of the action in 2022, whether your club's on the road or at home. Catch nearly every second of the USL Championship action on ESPN+, the home to USL, MLS, La Liga, the Bundesliga, UFC, and more. Sign up today at plus.espnplus.com. Forward by Detroit City. Pato down the right. Openo. Through two Atlanta United 2 players. Reese Williams toward the top of the box. Pato muscles the ball away. Continuing now, McFadden with room, but he can't quite complete the pass. Amu Mensah is there, and he will just send it into the seats with a player down for Detroit City.
That's why it was sent into the seats. Carroll is the player down. Let's take a look. Goes in with Mejia. It's 50-50 ball.
Need a knee?
Atlanta United 2 yellow card in the 57th minute. Number 11.
Mejia gets the yellow card for it.
And Carroll getting a look from the physio staff of Detroit City.
Don't mind that from David Mejia, to be perfectly honest. He's not going in to try to hurt anybody. He's going in strong to try to win a 50-50. Mejia's making a big jump this season, where last year he was generally used as a super sub, purely attack late in games. He's having to play full 90-minute matches here. He's late to it. I'm not sure if it's knee to knee or if he catches him a little bit lower. Again, no malicious intent. But Mejia doesn't back out of the challenge, and that's something that young players have to learn in these situations, because Stephen Carroll's not backing out of any challenge.
No.
Trevor James knows that. Because there was a yellow card, Carroll doesn't have to leave the field even though the trainer came on. He's going to run this one off.
Steinwasser looking center circle. Pato with the first contact. Bryce Washington was there. No whistle as Connor Rutz was looking for a foul. Didn't get it.
Howard won that one. Continuing the chase, but Atlanta has to be careful. They force it back.
Amu Mensah. Big switch. Looking for Reese Williams. Challenged by McFadden in the air over both. Pato couldn't get a touch from Mikey Ambrose, so it's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2 halfway through the 59th. Washington to Howard. Mertz trying to get away from the birthday boy, Connor Rutz. Washington finds Vial. Vial with a lot of space. He's got McFadden in front, step overs, cuts it centrally. Give to Nicholas Firmino. Firmino, Mateus, just inside to the box. And Vial had a chance off the post. Volley wide. Chance for Atlanta United 2. Mateus just missed off the Vial shot, off the post.
Hesitation as two Atlanta players go for it. Eventually, it goes to the player that it should have, Vial. Deflected ball, McFadden lets it go. Vial has to take just a little extra half second. Maybe that's why he can't bend it inside of that post. Darwin Mateus, another one of the birthday boys tonight, trying to clean that one up. Maybe the first time we've had two players on opposite teams celebrating a birthday in the same match.
I think you're right. 30 minutes to go. Atlanta United 2, down 3 goals. Goals by Carroll in the 23rd. Openo 10 minutes later. Pato in the 41st. And that's the hill that Atlanta United 2 has to climb here, as we're now in the 61st minute.
But these are important learning moments for Atlanta United 2. Gray initially said get up to Pato Boteofaz and then called a foul on him. These are important moments, though, because this is a team that's about development. There's so many teenagers in this group. I mean, last year, foul there. Mejia gets it. Amu Mensah commits it. Opportunity for Atlanta. Detroit maybe getting a little frustrated with Jordan Gray's decisions. But Atlanta United 2 trying to build for the future, trying to develop these players into future MLS players with Atlanta United. Every second in competition counts. They can't let up because of the scoreline.
Vial looking for Mateus, up into the air by Amu Mensah. Cleared away by Declan Wynn. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Detroit City wins initial possession. Robbie Mertz tries to get away from Maxey and get away from Brad Dunwell. He can't. Now Pato. Maxey Rodriguez.
It's a great ball from Maxey Rodriguez. So impressed with him tonight.
Declan Wynn. They're going to call a foul on Grant Howard.
Not much in that, but it's gotten a little more physical here in the second 45. I think Jordan Gray trying to keep it under control. I believe this might be Jordan Gray's first match in the center in USL Championship. So he's done a very good job keeping this one under control. Scoreline's helped him a little bit, but.
Wynn toward the top of the area. Headed away. Nicholas Firmino now in control. Briefly, Reese Williams tried to get it away from him. Robbie Mertz is there. Grant Howard now gets away from Openo. Mertz tries to get away from Rutz up the right to Amu Mensah.
Detroit's played these moments so well tonight, where Atlanta, they force Atlanta into dumping it into the attacking half. And generally, Atlanta United 2's been able to press their way into some dangerous spots when that's happened. Not tonight. Detroit City, unbothered by the pressure generally, regaining possession like they do here.
Mejia got the initial touch off the throw. Bryce Washington gets in the way nicely there to keep it from getting to Pato. And now down the left-hand side, Aiden McFadden.
It's a great ball from Mikey Ambrose to open things up down the left.
McFadden trying to charge past Declan Wynn. Double team now is there with Maxey. And they're going to get a foul on McFadden.
Perfect defensive decision by Maxey Rodriguez. Waits till McFadden stood up and there's nowhere for him to go. Doubles down.
Bryce Washington's night is through after 63 minutes, and we get our first appearance of the 19-year-old from Nigeria, Nelson Orji.
Last with Porto's academy, Nelson Orji. Just arrived this week, along with Emenike, who I wouldn't be surprised to see, a defensive midfielder. Orji, a center back by trade, will get an opportunity to see how he handles the USL Championship level.
Lewis forward. Pato. Firmino is there. Advantage called. Win toward the top of the sixth, and Opino just misses a brace.
It's a great ball from Win. Opino thought he had a second.
Not close to a fourth. Orji's first touch, looking toward Mateus. Centeno was there, and Wynn was the last to touch. It'll go back to Atlanta United 2 halfway through the 65th. Pato gets it away from Mikey Ambrose. Rutz, Dunwell, and Maxey. Amu Mensah. Orji there to intercede. Williams, Pato. Back to Matt Lewis. Up through the middle, looking for Carroll. Down the right-hand side, flags up on Reese Williams.
Williams completely and utterly disagrees with that.
Quickly.
Brilliantly worked by Detroit City to swing it back over to the right.
Quickly back at it, Atlanta United 2. Orji to Firmino. A little bit of space to move, so Nelson will take it. Center circle, Mejia. Flicked over to Mertz to change direction. Now down the right-hand side. Centeno. Mertz is off his right shoulder, but Centeno cuts it back into the middle. Give to Firmino. He's got Ambrose. Vial has Ambrose to his left if he wants him. Working against Maxey Rodriguez. Ambrose in with the left, looking far post. There first was Amu Mensah. Close call for Atlanta United 2. Sent all the way down. Looks like Nelson Orji will get there first. Give to Grant Howard, and we'll try it again. Garces to Nicholas Firmino. Robbie Mertz on the turn. Centeno double teamed. Runs away from it. Three more players were there for Detroit City, but they give to Robbie Mertz. Mertz looking, finds Ambrose, chests it down, nicely controlled. Pato was coming in off his right, give to Vial. Tries to get around Maxey Rodriguez and Reese Williams. Didn't happen. Detroit City sends it away. Nicholas Firmino there with the defensive header. So it'll be a throw for the visitors late in the 67th minute.
It's about what Detroit City shows you defensively. They just send you down blind alleys, and they use that as an opportunity to double and triple team. When you're playing Detroit City, you have to look for the opportunity to switch the point of attack quickly, because Detroit City will pinch to one side. They'll want to box you in using the touchline as a defender.
Turnover. Darwin Mateus. Chip to Centeno. Tried to rocketed into the sixth. There to defend Detroit City, and they're going to come away with it and send it down the left. Openo and Orji. Orji wins that battle, sends it back to Garces. Pato was there to give Justin Garces something to think about, and it ends up being a throw for the visitors. Rutz down the left. Too much for Declan Wynn. Can he get there? No.
That's another opportunity. You saw the spacing off the throw from Detroit City. Giant gaps between the back line and the midfield for Atlanta United 2. Detroit City has been living in those spaces all night tonight.
Mertz double team, send it back to Grant Howard. Howard lost possession, so it'll be a throw for the visitors. Maxi Rodriguez. Back to Amu Mensah. Back to Carroll. And Steinwasser with Mejia in pursuit. One bounce. Firmino had the first touch. Rutz was there to pick it up instead for Detroit City. Pass intended for Reese Williams. Too much on it. It's going to be a throw for Atlanta United 2. Mikey Ambrose quickly into Robbie Mertz. Ambrose with the left looking for Mejia. Lewis was there first. Mejia backtracking, trying to regain possession. Dunwell and Carroll sweeps it forward.
Nicely played by Lewis that time.
Openo past Grant Howard, sprinting down the left-hand side. Declan Wynn. Centeno is there. Howard is there to make him stop and backtrack to Maxi Rodriguez. Reese Williams. Firmino stands him up nicely. McFadden. Vial gets around Dunwell quickly, but there's Detroit City again defensively. Well done there. Stephen Carroll now center circle.
They just don't stop defensively. It's Maxi Rodriguez regaining possession once again. They just don't stop. Atlanta's backline has shifted around with Nelson Orji into the match. Mikey Ambrose playing as a left back. Grant Howard playing as a center back. Centeno's back to a right back position, but not really doing much on the defensive side from there. It's a little disorganized for Atlanta.
Good step over there by Robbie Mertz to keep possession, but Amu Mensah is there as Mateus tried to work his way forward for Atlanta United 2. And there's Detroit City again.
With the three center backs, Detroit City can take some chances with one of them stepping up into the midfield to help regain possession. This time it's Amu Mensah,
who cuts it back to Openo. 20 minutes to go. Mejia was there as Openo wanted to send it to Lewis, and here comes Vial for Atlanta United 2. He's got McFadden. Had to wait for it a little bit. Working it off to the right, just outside the area. Chipped in. Vial tried to turn with it. Mateus keeps possession for Atlanta United 2. In with the right, headed up in the air by Lewis. Mejia tried to get it off of the volley. Detroit City defending there, and they're going to make a substitution here before the throw.
Detroit City FC substitution in the 71st minute.
Looks like Michael Bryant will be checking in for Reese Williams.
Bryant started in the U.S. Open Cup match on Tuesday. Great shift for Reese Williams. First year with Detroit City for Michael Bryant.
And it looks like that's going to be the night for Pato, as Francis Atuahene will check in. And coming in for Atlanta United, someone that you have been very, very high on from the academy.
Cristiano Bruletti, we'll talk about him when he gets on right now. Looks like it's going to be, well, they put it up, but they're not going to make the sub yet.
Robbie Mertz.
We'll talk about Bruletti in a minute. Francis Atuahene spent 2021 with Memphis 901, a star at the University of Michigan. It never quite translated for FC Dallas. I don't think he got much of an opportunity for that to happen. Spent most of his time out on loan at various clubs.
Firmino forward to Centeno. Three Detroit City players were there to defend, so he sends it back to Howard. It goes back to Garces. Working from right to left to Orji and to Mikey Ambrose. Into the middle with Mertz. Vial. Step over inside on Maxi Rodriguez. Cuts it back to his right. Give to Nicholas Firmino. Centeno. Declan Wynn is there. Step overs by Centeno. Blocked by Wynn. Firmino into the area, headed, push from behind Mateus. He will fall. Ball is cleared, but not all the way out.
No, there's no push from behind. Carroll just goes straight to it. Maybe goes through Darwin Mateus just a little bit, but no push, no foul, no penalty.
Mertz. Center circle to Orji. Looking to his right. Up into the air, Centeno and Wynn. Last touched by Centeno. And now we get the substitution for Eric Centeno, and it will be Cristiano Bruletti.
Bruletti, a player that I've had the opportunity to see with Atlanta United's academy quite a bit. I want to see how this shifts around. Bruletti I've seen play as a center back. I've also seen him as a defensive midfielder. That's where he's played the most in the matches I've seen anyway. Really aggressive, hard-nosed player, but good on the ball.
And they're going to call a foul on Robbie Mertz as Openo hit the ground.
Mertz on a yellow, making sure that Jordan Gray wasn't going to think about a second yellow in that situation.
Maxi Rodriguez was down briefly as well. Let's take another peek.
Mertz comes flying in, gets kind of knocked into Openo by Rutz. Not much Mertz can do there. He's hip checked by Rutz. It could have been a foul on Rutz, to be honest.
It looked like Mertz was trying to evade Rutz and ended up going into Openo with that contact.
I think there was contact with Rutz and Mertz. Offside. Free kick for Atlanta.
Taken quickly. Orji over to Mikey Ambrose with 15 to go.
Looks like Bruletti's going to play as a center back next to Orji. Howard will move out to the right back where he's a little more comfortable.
Mikey Ambrose tracking the path of the ball. Nice one touch by Jack Collison. Start the play over quickly. Firmino, Mejia. Gets past Dunwell. Chested down. Howard thought about it. Pulled it back. Mertz from 20 plus. Atlanta United 2 looking for a handball in the box. They don't get a whistle from Jordan Gray.
And we get a whistle on that. A push from Matua Hene. That was pretty clear. I'm not sure what he's surprised about. No handball on that. It's a shot that's deflected with the body. And we'll take another look. Carroll deflects it with his chest and his leg. Does it pop up into his hand? Possibly. You're not going to get that call. He's not making himself bigger. It comes off of his body into his hand. That should not be called.
Foul called on McFadden. Once again, as Openo was on the ground. Looks like going to the pocket, perhaps? Yes. So another yellow on Atlanta United.
Atlanta United 2 yellow card in the 77th minute, number 33, Mikey Ambrose.
So they'll call it on Mikey Ambrose and not Bryce Washington. It's Garces. Juggles it a bit, grabs onto it, and sends Firmino away. Mikey Ambrose finds Mejia. Darwin Mateus with some speed. Trying to get past Amu Mensah, and you got the penalty call that is not going to happen. I thought that was going to be a penalty.
Should have been a penalty. Amu Mensah was beat with pace. Darwin Mateus took him to the outside. Amu Mensah fouled him inside the 18. Should have been a penalty.
Atua Hene trying to get past Orji. Straight to Aiden McFadden.
David Mejia is starting to make some things happen for Atlanta United 2. Vial dispossessed at midfield.
Openo tries to chip it past Bruletti. Looking for Atua Hene. Cuts it back to his left, down the left-hand side. Wynn, top of the 6th, through it, lines up and in. Goal number 4 goes to Michael Bryant. He'd been in for 5 minutes. Bryant gets the 4th on the board for Detroit City. 4-0 to the visitors here in the second half.
Bryant with his first goal in a Detroit shirt. Atlanta United 2 will be very frustrated about the decision not to give a penalty when Darwin Mateus was knocked over by Devin Amumensa. Cross here, Howard a little late to close down. Rutz lets it run, and Bryant just able to line it up on the backside of the play. Ambrose tries to close out, can't get there fast enough. See if we can get another look at that. Oh, and there's a red card to Darwin Mateus. Darwin Mateus very frustrated about not getting the penalty the other way. Very surprised Jordan Gray is going to go that fast to a red card in that moment at this stage of the game, because it doesn't really affect this game. Of course the player's going to be frustrated in that situation. There's no reason why a player wouldn't be frustrated in that situation. Not sure what he said, maybe something magic, but that's a quick hook. That's quick from Jordan Gray to go to a red for Darwin Mateus in that situation. Really feels unnecessary at this point in the match on a controversial call to go that fast to a red. Like I said it before, Jordan Gray has not worked as a center referee in USL Championship. Players are going to question decisions. Players are going to question controversial decisions like that last one. That felt very fast. We didn't hear what he said.
No.
Maybe something very special was said.
Magical, yes.
Maybe. But in a 3-0, then 4-0 game, felt like a fast one because there wasn't much of a conversation there.
From what we saw, it was the wagging of a finger, a very short conversation, and then Jordan Gray goes to the pocket. Headed back by Lewis, right to Steinwasser. Amumensa.
The frustrating thing about that is Amumensa goes into Mateus and makes contact inside the 18. I don't know if Jordan Gray, the referee, felt like that Mateus took a dive. I'm not sure how you're going to get to that decision. And there's enough contact there with the arm extended that you can't let that go. Nelson Orji with a nice play.
More substitutions coming in for both sides with 10 to go.
Look, at 3-0 with a penalty, would it have changed the outcome tonight? Probably not. There would have been maybe a furious finish from Atlanta United too. But very frustrating for that to then be compounded by whatever Darwin Mateus said to get a very quick red card in that situation.
Substitutions for both, and the substitution for Detroit City brings in a very familiar face. It's an appearance for Abdoulaye Diop for the final 10 minutes here for Detroit City, as Connor Rutz's night is over 10 minutes before the finish.
Last 2 years here in Atlanta for Abdoulaye Diop. Was very well liked by Gabriel Heinze and his staff. Spent a lot of time with the first team in preseason last year. Unfortunately, just could not stay healthy to make any extended runs with playing time. Abdoulaye Diop, that's a great get, who had previously spent time with Detroit City. Great get for Les Rouges
back in their NPSL days.
Exiting the match, number 27.
Bruletti tries to send it into the middle.
It's another one of the substitutions. Emenike, 18 years old, joining Atlanta United 2 from the Superstar Academy in Nigeria. Has been part of the U17 national team pool for Nigeria.
Nigel Prince also checking in for Atlanta United 2 for the final 10.
Prince, another one of the U19s who had a really strong season in the fall. Prince is headed to Northwestern in the fall.
Orji to his right to Bruletti. To Robbie Mertz.
And also for Atlanta United 2, exiting the match, number 29, Nick Firmino. Entering the match, number 43, Nigel Prince.
Firmino out, Prince in. And that's what that substitution is to close that door for Atlanta United 2. Maxi Rodriguez trying to get the ball away from Emenike. Mertz getting there first is Michael Bryant. He'll go back to Steinwasser. Over Maxi Rodriguez, takes a bounce. And another substitution for Detroit City. And it's going to be Bosch Tunyi. And the night is over for Antoine Openo.
Love to see Tunyi get onto the field for Detroit City. He was Mr. Michigan Soccer in 2020. It's the next step for Detroit City to start producing players for the pro level. Go back to the play with Mateus. He cuts inside of Amu Mensah, and Amu Mensah makes contact with him in the back. That's a penalty 9 times out of 10. And then Detroit goes down the other way, scores. Can't really tell what Darwin Mateus said there. I couldn't read his lips. But it wasn't a long conversation and a very quick red. Felt completely unnecessary at that point in the game. Doesn't change anything with the outcome. Don't misconstrue it. But it does affect Atlanta United 2 for their next match because you won't have Darwin Mateus after making his first start tonight.
And that will be in a week's time at Michael Carroll Stadium in Indianapolis against a struggling Indy 11 side here early in the USL Championship season. But you will certainly miss his speed, his imagination, and having him as part of your firepower in a match on the road when you really could use him.
Well, look, it's a time in the season where maybe you would have expected to have Jackson Conway a little bit more if you're Atlanta United too, as there's a foul from Howard pushing in the back on Amu Mensah. Jackson Conway needed with Atlanta United right now with Joseph Martinez's injury. Had a surgical procedure done. He's going to miss a decent bit of time, and that opens the door for Jackson Conway at the MLS level. Saw him last week in D.C. Could be starting tomorrow in Charlotte. So Jack Collison has to kind of figure it out on the fly, and now with Darwin Mateus out of the group.
Prince is going to get called for a foul.
That's just a yellow. I'm surprised. I'm surprised there, and the Detroit City players are too. Thought that was a red card for Nigel Prince. Carroll just spiked the ball down.
And they're calling for the physio for Detroit City.
Carroll spiked the ball down and has been yelling at the AR and the referee. Now the referee's going to go over and talk to the AR. I think it's a red. We'll get another look at it. I won't be surprised if this gets upgraded to a red. Nigel Prince comes flying in. Left leg was straight, I think. It studs up. Right leg was the straight one. Left leg catches him too. It's a very dangerous one, and the AR talked the referee into the red. Correctly, 100% correctly. But again, you want to get to another level of frustration, it's going to be this. The captain for Detroit City spikes the ball, yells at the referee nonstop, yells at the AR, and the call is then upgraded from a yellow to a red. When Darwin Mateus said maybe one sentence, he gets immediately red carded.
Atlanta United 2, straight red card.
And so Jordan Gray.
And now you've got issues between players over here arguing. Robbie Mertz and Carroll face to face. Mejia trying to defuse the situation. Should have been a straight red to begin with. You wouldn't have had any of the situation if it's a straight red. I mean, it's a fairly obvious straight red, and now I don't know why you're getting Antoine Openo yelling from the bench. Detroit City's got a 4-0 lead. They need to just sit down and get out of town here.
And Jack Collison having a discussion with Antoine Openo.
Yeah, it's a straight red. I mean, it should have been a straight red to begin with. That's a referee mistake. Now Jordan Gray's coming over to yell at Jack Collison and give him a yellow. This is completely lost the plot here from this referee crew. It's really disappointing to see because you've got to get new referees coming through. But he comes over to give Collison a yellow. Collison's trying to defuse the situation.
Right.
There's no reason to show a yellow there. Now another yellow. What is this for? And he wanted to have a few extra words about it, too. I don't know who else got a yellow.
It's like one of the assistants.
I guess Omar Jarun got a yellow. It's just not necessary at this stage. The game's over. The game's over. And now it's escalated into something that it didn't need to escalate to. If it's a straight red to begin with, you don't have any of this. It should have been a straight red to begin with. But the way it was bumped up after what happened with Darwin Mateus in the red, we get another look at some of the back and forth here.
There's Collison and Opano.
Yeah, it looks Collison's coming over just trying to calm Opano down, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, there's no friction, no nothing there. The fourth official's right there. He's got everything under control.
I mean, it looks like Trevor James understood why Jack Collison was over there.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of like, why are we doing this? Atlanta United 2 just needs to keep their head at this point, get out of here with no more cards. Detroit City just needs to get out of here with the 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
But a game that, as I was saying earlier, Jordan Gray had handled pretty well. The scoreline was helping him out. The scoreline should be helping him out even more, and it's gotten out of hand at the end.
Bryant for Detroit City. Back to Matt Lewis. Center circle to Abdoulaye Diop.
Hopefully both teams just decide to knock the ball around here for the final however long we're going to play.
Carroll, Diop, Amumensa. Atuahene gets away from Mertz. He'll send it over to Matt Lewis. Maxey into the middle. Well defended there by Orji. Mertz trying to get it over to the left. And Mikey Ambrose. I'm going to say it was last touched by Detroit City. Maxi Rodriguez can't believe it. Emenike is trying to get through 3 Detroit City bodies. Couldn't do it. And it's going to be a throw for LaRouge as we come up here late in the 90th minute. We'll see how many they add.
Be smart to blow the whistle at 90.
Yep. Diop, Maxey, Matt Lewis. All the way around to Declan Wynn. 2 minutes added.
That's basically the same thing.
Back to Steinwasser. Maxi Rodriguez. One of the goal scorers tonight for Detroit City. Spiked forward by Atlanta United 2. Ushered by Stephen Carroll. Back to Steinwasser. Now Amumensa with it. Now Abdoulaye Diop.
It's good for Atlanta United 2 to get the 2 Nigerian youngsters into the team, and Nelson Orji and Emenike. That's going to help them when they go to Indy next week. It's been a great night for Detroit City. Finally getting all of the pieces to click.
Tunyi through ball, Atuahene. Mikey Ambrose out of the area to Robbie Mertz. Mertz slips on the surface, and now he's down.
I've rolled that just a little bit, Robbie Mertz.
Quick note before we go, if you can't watch the match like tonight, turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access, Tuesday nights at 7 Eastern. Hear live matches from the USL, MLS, English Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the SXM app. Matt Lewis. Michael Bryant, goal scorer number 4. Francis Atoyene. Wants to go with his left, easily grabbed by Garces as we come up on 2 minutes and the whistle goes. And the match is over, and all 3 points go to Detroit City FC 4-0.
Great performance from Les Rouges. This is the team that we thought they could be coming into this season. 4 goals. You feel like this is a potential springboard for them up the table in the Eastern Conference.
4 goals, 3 points to the visitors. So when we come back, we'll put a bow on it. Big night for Detroit City FC against Atlanta United 2. This is the USL Championship on ESPN Plus. We'll wrap it all up when we come back.
Los accidentes suceden sin avisar y conseguir el tratamiento médico que usted o un familiar merece puede resultar difícil si no cuenta con la ayuda de un buen abogado. Por eso nos dedicamos a pelear por sus derechos, asegurándonos que usted no solo reciba la compensación que merece, sino que también reciba la mejor atención médica. Le atendemos en español. 404-888-8888. Bader Law Firm, comprometidos con usted y su familia.
You wouldn't put your team on the same field as the pros. So why would you take them to the same doctor? From growth plates to emotional needs, teens are different than adult athletes. Take them where they're treated that way.
Piedmont believes in the people powering Georgia. It's why we're leading real change in healthcare. To give you a better, seamless, more unified experience. So you can simply access and manage your care all in one place. With tools that make it easy to find and book a doctor from almost anywhere, anytime. And even check in before you walk in. Let's keep powering Georgia's growth. Piedmont. Real change lives here.
Welcome back to Kennesaw. 4 goals, all 3 points for Detroit City against Atlanta United 2 here tonight in Kennesaw. Man of the match for Atlanta United 2 tonight, Jason, Jonathan Viall.
Jonathan Viall had one off the post, nearly curled it inside of the far post, created a chance. A little bit of a frustrating night at times for him as the physicality was a challenge, but he had the best scoring opportunity for Atlanta United to Jonathan Viall. A lot to learn from tonight.
Man of the match brought to us by our friends at Piedmont Orthopedics. Let's take a peek at the final stats here in the dominant win by Detroit City FC. And as we look at the numbers, as they pop up here on the screen, it was dominant in the first 45 minutes. It was 12 shots, only 1 in the second half for Detroit City, and it went in the back of the net.
Yeah, I mean, Detroit City with the lead were able to really back off in the second half. Atlanta United 2 with 6 shots, none on target, 1 off the post. Better second 45 for Atlanta United 2 and United 2 until you started to see the red cards flying, but not enough in this one. And Detroit City punished them for their mistakes. It's an opportunity for Jack Collison to go back to the drawing board with a young group. These are the games where you can see a lot of progression from game to the next one.
So let's take a peek at how Jack Collison can get things turned around quickly for Atlanta United 2. We'll look at both schedules, both the next 5s for both Detroit City and for Atlanta United 2. And the next stop for Atlanta United 2, it's at the Mike in a week's time.
It's on the road against the team that got knocked out of the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup in Indy 11. Pittsburgh Riverhounds, they will go on the road to them. That'll be right after an Open Cup match for the Riverhounds. That could play to Atlanta United 2's favor just a bit. Then you get Louisville City at home, and then you go to Detroit, and you're going to be looking for revenge, and then you get the defending champs coming into your house on the 27th. Not an easy next 5 for Atlanta United 2.
Tall order for the 2s coming up in the next month or so. Now for Detroit City, they go back to Keyworth. It's on short rest. It's 1 day less, but they get Keyworth and Birmingham Legion going north to start their next 5.
Big opportunity there on national television, and then an Open Cup match squeezed in between before the trip to Hartford Athletic. It really feels like Detroit City, with the win in the Open Cup, with the big win tonight, they have an opportunity to start stacking big performances in a row and building momentum.
In their first season in the USL Championship, they can do exactly that. And that first step could have come tonight with a big win against Atlanta United 2. Goals on the board. 3 goals about 18 minutes apart in the first half. Then you get another one in the second half. Dominant performance tonight by the visitors. Detroit City beats Atlanta United 2 by the score of 4-0. For everyone here at Kennesaw and for my partner, Jason Longshore, I'm just John Nelson. Thanks for hanging out with us and watching the USL Championship on ESPN+. Play it safe, everybody. We'll see you next time. Pato, Matt Lewis, both charging, sent up and over far post, headed down, Amu Mensah and in. Headed down by Amu Mensah, Stephen Carroll back of the net, 1-0 to the visitors halfway through the 23rd.
Set pieces, Detroit City excels. Great delivery from Maxi.
Pato, Matt Lewis, both charging, sent up and over far post, headed down, Amu Mensah and in. Headed down by Amu Mensah, Stephen Carroll back of the net, 1-0 to the visitors halfway through the 23rd.
Set pieces, Detroit City excels. Great delivery from Maxi Rodriguez, and Devin Amu Mensah with a perfectly placed header down to Carroll. First time finish from the captain, and Detroit City takes the early lead.
There's your other look right there. Great.